Hey guys, welcome to Algebra 2. This is Chapter 5, 5.1, one of the hardest sections of Chapter 5, dealing all with graphing. So let's get started right away because I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have. Describe in your own words what you think of graph of y equals x squared, shape of a U. Okay? Anything along those lines, a curve that opens up or down, that should be fine. So your whole essential questions for this section 2 would be, how do you graph quadratic functions, and how do we use quadratic functions to solve real-life problems? Actually, guys like football, so the punt every time would have a parabolic shape as it travels through the air. So let's talk about our quadratic functions. Anything that has an x squared in it, okay, or a degree of 2, a cannot equal 0 because then it would be linear if it was 0. You have a U-shaped field, vertex of the parabola, the lowest and highest point of the quadratic, which also then leads you into the axis of symmetry. Okay, standard form, need to know what that is. Okay, it's in the form of y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. We sketched y equals x squared, but let's actually jump into what we're doing here with standard form. Now, this is how you would solve for the standard form graph. Okay. Now, and a parabola will open up if a is greater than or equal to 0, or I should say a is greater than 0. And it will open down if a is negative, meaning a is smaller than 0. The parabola will get wider than y equals x squared. Okay, so if I draw a sketch of what y equals x squared would look like, and this is rough, okay, don't set it in stone. You know, it'll be something along the lines of the U shape that looks like this. Now, if I take the a value, which in this case is 1, and make 1 smaller, so like say I have y equals a half x squared. A is a half, a would be 1 half. When you do that, it will make your parabola wider, or more wide. So the smaller, the a value is, meaning if it's smaller than 1, the more wide the parabola is going to be. Okay? And to make it more narrow, say I had y equals 5x squared. That graph's going to get more steep 5 times quicker. So it's going to take all these y values multiplied by 5 and shift them up 5 times the original value. So that would mean a would have to be bigger than 1. That will make it more narrow. Now what's really important here is what I'm about to say in this next step. This one needs to get starred following the next one. The x-coordinate of your vertex in this form will be negative b over 2a. You need to have that memorized. That is the key. Luckily, that's the only formula that you really need to remember here. But negative b over 2a is worth its weight in gold. The axis of symmetry of the vertical line is when x equals that. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and do one of these examples. You could always look at the graphing of the quadratic function here on your own time. I'm actually going to go to the next page and take a look at 1, 2, and 3 that you have here. So all these quadratics are in what we would call standard form. I'll do one in blue. Always establish A, B, and C. Please don't think you're better than that, okay? Do what you need to do so that way it takes out the confusion later if you mess up. Because if you mess up with these, it's hard to find your error. So you want to make sure you're going through it mechanically, slow and steady, doing all the small steps correctly. So A is 1, B is -4, C is 7. First order of business after that is to solve for x using that formula that we just starred. So we have x equals -4 over 2 times 1. So basically we have positive 4 over 2. Your x value is 2. Plug that back in to this equation. We are going to solve for y. To do that, I have 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 7. So this is 4 minus 8 plus 7. Okay, so we're looking at -4 plus 7. Y is going to be 3. So your vertex is at 2, 3. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over 2, up 3. There's my vertex. Okay. What I'm going to then do is I'm going to put my axis of symmetry, which will be through it. I'm going to read that as AOS, axis of symmetry, x is 2. Okay? I am then going to follow up with my T chart. So, my x values to the left of 2 would be 2, 1, 0, negative 1 if I need it. If I plug 1 in here, I get 1 squared minus 4 plus 7. So that's going to give you negative 3 plus 7, which is 4. So at 1, I will be at 4. So 1 up 4. There's my points for my first x value. If I put 0 in, it will be 0 minus 0 plus 7. So you can see I'm going to get 0, 7 here. 0 up 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can match that up. And then if I do negative 1, I'm going to be off the chart. So it'll be 1 plus 4 plus 7, which is going to be 12. And that's off my graph. So here's my graph. So that's your first graph for standard form. That would be finished. Make sure you are labeling the vertex in axis of symmetry, which is this here. Okay? Let's jump to 2. A here is going to be 2. B is going to be negative 8, and C is going to be positive 6. So to solve for my x coordinate, I have negative 8 over 2 times 2. So x is going to be positive 8 over 4, which is 2. Let's solve for y. Got 2 times 2 squared, 8 times 2, and minus it, plus 6. So this is 4 times 2 is 8, this is 16, plus 6. So I'm going to get negative 2 when that's all said and finished. So my vertex for this guy is at 2, negative 2. 2 down 2. Parabola is opening up because A is positive. So I'm going to label it below. There's my vertex. Axis of symmetry is here, straight through it. So notice I always do the axis of symmetry after I plot the vertex. Okay, x equals 2. Jumping back to red here. Actually, I should go to orange again. I'm at my point now where I do my t-chart. Now, I'm going to do 1, 0, because I start at x is 2. What's smaller than 2? 1, 0, negative 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 1. If I put 1 in here, I'm going to get 2 minus 8 plus 6, which is 0. Okay, so 1, 0 is here. If I put 0 in, it would be 0 minus 0 plus 6. So 0, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Match it up. And I'm guessing negative 1 again is going to be off my chart. So it'll be 2 plus 8 plus 6, which will be 16. So here's my parabola. A little bit steeper than the one that was before, but the same idea. Okay. So there's 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and shift to number 3. Now we have A is a half, B is a positive 4, C is 5. I'm going to use this space over here. Solve for x. I'm going to have negative 4 over 2 times the half. This is going to be negative 4 over 1, better known as negative 4. Let's plug negative 4 into this guy. So I'll have half of negative 4 squared plus 4 times negative 4 plus 5. So this is half of 16 minus 16 plus 5. So 8 minus 16 plus 5 is negative 8 plus 5. Y is negative 3. So your vertex is at negative 4 down 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, just checking my work. My axis of symmetry is right through that. So my AOS is x equals negative 4. Okay. T-chart. It's the same sequence again. You can pick values that make it easy. I'm going to do negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. You may have to look past that. Let's see what we get when we put in negative 3. That would be 9, half of 9. This would be negative 12 plus 5. Okay, so half of 9 is 4.5. 9.5 minus 12.5 is negative 2.5. So negative 2.5, negative 3 is right here. And we'll match that up. Negative 2 is going to be a little bit easier. That'll be 4, half of 4 is 2. That'll be minus 8 plus 5. So this is my work for negative 2. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So that's a nice one. Match it up. If I put negative 1 in, I get positive 1. Half of that is 0.5 minus 4 plus 5. So $5.50 minus 4 is 1.5. It's this here. It's this here. And then the last one I'm going to look at is 0, which is going to give me 5. So 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. That will work just fine. So here's your graph. If you really want to go past that, we can. If I put 1 in, okay, this will be a half. 0.5 plus 4 plus 5. So that would be 9.5 if you really want to graph just off our charts. Okay, but we're pretty good there. So there's your graph for 3. There's 3 standard forms. The next form we're going to talk about is going to be vertex form. So I'm going to flip back here as soon as this loads up. Okay. So there are those 3. So here we are. Vertex form will be the top one. Let's talk about what happens here. We're focusing here. It's kind of like absolute value. You want to take the opposite of what's in here, so it's positive 8, and keep k the same. So this is the opposite, this is the same. And your x value, again, for your axis of symmetry is whatever your x coordinate is. Again, if a is positive, it opens up. And if a is negative, it opens down. Right? So we'll look at 3 problems dealing with this. Right on the next page, flip over. Okay, so first order of business is solve for your vertex. This is so much nicer than standard form, because you only have to do is take the opposite of this guy, which is positive 2, and keep him the same. There's my vertex, 2 down 2. This parabola is opening up because this is a positive A. And then here comes my axis of symmetry. So my AOS in this case is x equals 2. And now I'm actually ready to do my t-chart. See how very little work I have here. I'm going to go to the right of 2, so 3, 4, 5. If I put 3 in here, I get 1 squared, which is 1 times 2, which is 2 minus 2 is 0. So at 3 we're at 0. You can still mirror that up. Put 4 in, I get 2 squared, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Match it up. If I put 5 in, 3 squared is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 minus 2 is 16. That's off my chart. So I know that will be my graph. Finished. Have everything covered. You got your vertex. You got your axis of symmetry labeled. Life is good. Next guy. Again, solve for the vertex first. Opposite of this guy is negative 1. Keep this guy the same. So your vertex is at 1. Negative 1 up 3. This one's opening down because A is negative. Axis of symmetry is straight through this guy. So my AOS, axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1. Okay, again, we're doing our t-charts. We're ready to go. I'm going to go to the right, 0, 1, 2. If I put 0 in, I get 1 squared, which is 1. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. 0 up 2. Match it up. Put 1 in. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So 1 and negative. So you can see it's kind of picking up steam here quick. And then put 2 in. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6. So 2 down 6. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just going to do the last point to show you what your value is. I probably won't be able to graph it. 3 plus 1 is 4, 16, 4 squared is 16, negative 16 plus 3 is negative 13. That's clearly off our graph. So just to draw this, this is our graph. Okay? Remember, axis of symmetry, bam, vertex is here. All right. Last but not least, vertex here. Let's do the opposite of this guy. Positive 3, keep 4 the same. So I'm going to go over 3, up 4. And I'll label that in a second. Got my axis of symmetry here already, which is x equals 3. This point is opening up, so this will be